Today, we're going to be looking at how you can restore a vintage laptop from the 1990s back to its factory original condition. This particular laptop happens to be a Compaq Armada 110, but most of what I'm talking about here will apply to any vintage laptop. So let's get started. It's always a good idea to flip over the laptop first and have a look at the specs, which are normally printed on the back. As you can see here, this particular model happens to be an Armada 110. Around the same location of the model number, there will be the voltage requirement. This is important to know because it will determine what AC adapter you need to use with your laptop. Unless yours came with a power adapter, it's most likely not going to have one, so you need to source your own. In this case, I'm just using this light-on power supply, which I found laying around. But this does have the right requirements though, so it's not like I'm just using any power supply here. Just remember to be mindful whether it's a center positive or center negative jack that your laptop requires. Now that we've done that, it's always good to establish whether the machine actually works or not. There's a lot that can go wrong with these old laptops, so it's important to make sure that it can work. In this case, it booted into the previous owner's install of Windows Me. I don't know why they chose to go with Windows Me, but they probably just used it for office work and stuff, so it wasn't a big deal. Next up, what we're going to do is use a restore CD to wipe the hard drive and reinstall a fresh copy of OEM Compaq Windows 98. Now, you can just use a regular install of Windows 98, but this way you get all the drivers and you get all this bloatware too, and all these Compaq features that are exclusive to their OEM install. While this stuff isn't good under normal circumstances, I just want this computer to be factory original. So, to me, it's actually worthwhile having that stuff. The previous owners didn't unseal this ever before, so that's what I'm doing here, just unsealing it. I didn't want to rip it too much, but gosh, it was hard to get off. Anyway, once I'd done that, we could take the disk out and put it in the CD drive. This is a bootable Windows 98 CD, by the way, so it's really easy. You just put it in and then restart the computer and then you're off and away. Here we go. Let's put it in. There we go. And let's close it up. Nice. Upon a reboot, we boot into the Compaq Restore disk, as shown here. So first of all, it wants you to select your language. I think we'll go with English. Next up, you just click Next. And there's a few more prompts to go through. So what it's going to do is format the hard drive and completely wipe it, so the previous user's data will be erased. Then what will happen, it'll install all of its juicy Compaq OEM software, and a bunch of bloatware too. But you know, that's half the fun in this. So yeah, here we go, it's formatting now. Now that the formatting is done, it's restoring the OS in its own words. What it's actually doing is just installing Windows 98, probably from a disk image or something, for the official Compaq OEM install. So yeah, this actually took about an hour in total because it was really slow for some reason. Normally, a Windows install would only take me 20 minutes. So yeah, but it worked out in the end. Now, it's going to look for all the drivers and install them, based off the CD. So, this laptop would have came in a few different specs, even though it's the same model number. You know, different amounts of RAM, different CPU speeds, that kind of stuff. So, what they did, they just included all the drivers for all the possible variations of all this hardware, and then it just finds them and installs them, as shown here. I love that little drum icon, it looks really funny. But times have changed though, now we just have boring loading wheels. Anyway, then I got presented with this customized Compaq setup screen. Again, this OEM stuff is really interesting to me, and you can just see how different it was compared to today. I'm pretty sure this was exclusive to these Compaq Restore CDs, so you wouldn't have a prompt like this on a normal Windows installation. Anyway, you're prompted to put in your first and last name, so I just put in Compaq in this scenario. Next up, you're prompted with the license agreement, which you just kind of accept. And then, congratulations, you have successfully set up Windows on your computer. Wow, you gotta love these GIFs. How 1990s is that? Look at this, you've got the Windows flag waving in the sky. Ha, that looks really funny. And then you've got a computer acting like it's its birthday. Look at that. You wouldn't see that on Windows 10 these days, would you? Well, that was the 90s for you. Next up, you're just prompted to put in some boring information, like time zones, but you can really just skip over that. And yeah, we're basically done now. So this is the process of a restore CD on these old laptops. It was also common practice on things like OEM machines, but it was much more important and prevalent on laptops, since you had all these proprietary drivers and chips inside of them. So yeah. Something that a lot of people skip over, which is actually really important to remember when restoring a vintage laptop, is to clean it. It's one thing to have Windows installed, but it's another thing to actually have a clean laptop that you can use without cringing because it's so dirty. I'm just using some glass cleaner here, since it's a pretty harmless chemical and won't do any damage to the stickers on the computer. This has happened to me before actually. When using more harsh chemicals to clean these machines, like isopropyl alcohol, I've actually ruined the case badge stickers because it's been too strong and has taken the paint off them. But I've found that glass cleaner works really well and has no damage to the machine. So yeah, use glass cleaner, don't use anything stronger. And there you go, that's about it for restoring a vintage laptop. You can also go ahead and put something like an SD card hard drive. They do make laptop variations of those adapters, and then you can have really fast speeds too. But the original hard drive works pretty well in this machine, so I won't be doing that here. You can also upgrade the RAM, but this machine has about 256 megs in it already, which is a good amount for Windows 98, so I won't be doing that. If you're having trouble finding restore discs, or at least the original ones, you can always go online to the manufacturer's website, search for your model number of laptop or OEM machine, and generally they'll have the restore discs available for download on their website. So you just download those ISO files and then burn them to a CD-ROM, and then you can go ahead and make OEM discs that way. I was lucky enough to get the original discs with this laptop, so that wasn't necessary here. Well, that's about it. We've restored this Compaq laptop back to its original factory condition. Laptops can always be a bit harder to restore, especially on the software side, so I hope this video was useful for someone restoring a laptop of their own. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.